We hold here every third Thursday of the month, and without any delay, we'd like to get going for this month. We're very privileged to have Khun Vuttiphol Wanglee here with us. He is going to talk about the rice mortgage scheme, the real story. And for once, we're actually hearing from someone in the industry, not an academic, not a watchdog, not a politician, someone in the industry. So hopefully there'll be plenty of insights from Khun Vuttiphol. Khun Vuttiphol is the assistant to the managing director in production and purchasing at Chaitip Company Limited. Previously, he worked at Ayudhya Allianz CP Life and Allianz Insurance Management Asia Pacific. He was educated at Babson College and New York University Stern School of Business. So without further ado, a big warm welcome to Khun Vuttiphol, please.
Thank you, Nick, and good afternoon, everyone. So I know this subject is quite sensitive, so I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but I will talk today based on facts, and you can find this information on the internet, on the newspaper, and so this will be based on facts only. And I know that a few of you already in the rice industry and also in politics, so you might know the subject already, so you can fill me in if you have other information. Okay, so first, I will talk about why do we need the government subsidy program at all? Why do we need the rice mortgage scheme? Okay, so what are the reasons that the government needs to help farmers? So this chart demonstrated that the world rice supply has outstripped demand for the past 7 years. You can see from this red line is the utilization or how much people consume each year. So you can see 2006, the red line is below the green line. The green line is the production of rice each year. So the green line is above the red line every single year since 2006. That means we have more rice than we need. So that is the case. As you can see, the bar chart is the ending stock of rice each year. Since 2006, the ending stock has moved up every year until today. Today, the closing stocks is at 12-year high. That means that more supply, cheaper price. So we have been in the buyer's market for the past 7 years. The buyer have more upper hand than the seller. Okay, farmers get poorer in this market condition because they have to sell rice very cheap. So the price, this is the price trend. As you can see that since 2008, the price came down because we have more supply, right? Lower price, lower income for the farmers. Now in 2011, the Pheu Thai party implemented the rice mortgage scheme. That's why the world rice prices, Vietnamese rice price and this Thai rice price came up in 2011. But then again in 2012 and 2013, we have more supply than demand. Because India came into the market, they have more supply than they need. So the Vietnam price came down, and so as the Indian price and also the world rice price. Except Thailand is still very high right here. Yeah. So overall, without government interventions, Thai farmers will be poor. They will be living in 88 baht per day income. Yeah. So this is based on the government figure. So to tackle this problem, the Thai government's two parties, let's say the Democrat Party, use the income guarantee scheme, and the Pheu Thai Party use the rice mortgage scheme. Yeah, I will talk to detail about each scheme, how it's different, and how the pros and cons. So any questions so far about the logic? Okay. Now I move on to the subsidy programs. I go into detail of each subsidy programs. Okay. On the left side is the income guarantee scheme by the Democrat Party. On the right side, it's a rice mortgage scheme by the Pheu Thai Party. So let's talk about the income guarantee scheme first, how it works. Basically, the government guarantee that each farmer will receive 10,000 baht per ton when they sell rice. So let's say the farmers sells 5,000 baht at the market. The rice mill buy from farmer as 5,000 baht. The government will pay extra 5,000 baht to topple that out, so to ensure that each farmer will receive 10,000 baht income per ton. So that's how the income guarantee scheme works. It let the market mechanism dictate the price. So the rice mill buy at the market price, the farmer sell at the market price, and the government topple that out. So if the farmer sell at 8,000 baht, the government top out another 2,000. So that's based on market mechanism. On the rice mortgage scheme, the government also, let's say assumption, government also guarantee a 10,000 baht. Each farmer will receive per ton. But the difference is the government will buy the rice from the farmer directly, not the rice mill. The government willing to buy every single grain of rice from the farmers. That's different. No matter the market price, let's say the market price at 5,000 baht, the government doesn't care. They pay 10,000 baht. So with that higher price, the government has become the sole buyer of rice in the market. Based on data, it's about 70% of rice supply from Thailand go into the government warehouse. So they become a sole buyer of the Thai rice. So that's the difference between these two schemes. Okay, let's go to the objectives of these two schemes. What are they? Both two schemes have a very well intention. They want to help farmers. The first two objectives are the same. To lift Thai farmers' well-being and to create stability of Thai economy to increase domestic consumption. If the rural people have more income, the economy will grow. But the last two is different. The rice mortgage scheme is to increase Thai rice price and to control the world market price. They don't stress on how to export and how to release the rice. But the Democrat Party is to allow market mechanism to dictate rice price and to encourage export. These 2 points are the difference. Number one is helping farmers and also helping the exporter. On the left side, it's only concerned mainly about the farmers only. So let's see the outcomes. Once they implemented how the scheme came out, the outcome of the scheme came out. Okay, for the rice mortgage scheme, we're talking about rice mortgage scheme. The outcome, they successfully maintain farm income at a historic high level. This is the farm income. This is during the Democrat year. This is during the Pheu Thai year. The Democrat year, the farm income gradually increased to the high level, historic high level. The Pheu Thai be able to successfully maintain the farm income at a high level. So they successfully maintain the income of the farmers. Also successfully increased Thai rice price. As you can see, this is the Thai rice price, and this is the rice price of other countries. We were close with the Vietnam before, but now the price is way off, so much different. The Thai fragrant rice is about 135% more expensive than the Vietnamese fragrant rice. For the white rice, it's about 36% more than the Vietnamese white rice. So we actually, they successfully increased the price as they aim for. But the total value, the income that we receive from export is declining so much. First, the government said that, okay, even though the volume in tonnage will decrease, but the income, the overall income will increase because the price per unit increase. But as you can see from this figure, the total export value in terms of US dollars declined. This is Thailand, India, and Vietnam. So the income of rice exporting gradually declined since 2012. So we are now the number 3 in terms of value. Also, in terms of value, it's declined a lot. This is Thailand export volume each year. We used to be number 1. And 2012, we dropped into number 3. The volume declined by 35%. And 2013, so far, year to date, the volume declined by 13%. As you can see, both value and volume decline. As a consequence, because we export less, the ending stock is at the highest level. So if we have more stocks, it means the quality will deteriorate. This scheme is also very expensive. This is the budget each year for the government subsidy program for rice. As you can see, this is Pheu Thai Party. This is the Democrat, and this is the Pheu Thai Party in 2012 to help the farmers. Yeah, it's over 300 billion baht that they need to pay for the scheme. And actual loss is 136 billion baht for this scheme. So it's very expensive. And also the corruption has increased, it's become rampant. I stressed out the three things that I know that really happened, and they have evidence that how people corrupt in this scheme. First is that some people use farmers' rights to mortgage the rice. Let's say the farmers come in with a truck of 50 tons of rice. The miller asks the farmers, okay, I pay you 1,000 baht per ton, yeah? Give me your right. Then I top up another 50 tons to make 100 tons. Yeah, and the miller get the money, the additional of the 50 tons that they put in from the government. Do we understand how it works? No, not I. Okay. Let me explain again. The farmers have their own rice, 50 tons, right? The rice mill have their own rice. They buy it from the market pretty cheap, another 50 tons. And they ask the farmer, okay, I give you money, and you let me have my own rice and put into your own truck, and mortgage that to the government. So they get the difference. So that's how it works. The rice mill get the money, extra money from the government because they mortgage another 50 tons of their own cheap rice. Another one, the rice mill mix low quality rice and mortgage to the government. Let's say the farmers mortgage 100 tons of rice of Homali, right? 100 tons, 50 tons the rice mill took out and mixed with the lower grade rice of Pathum rice and mortgage that to the government. So they sell the Homali at expensive price and they get the profit from the government by mixing the low quality rice. Understand? Okay. So that's how another step works. As you can see that when they sell the rice, Homali rice to the exporter now, they say that you buy as is. There's no guarantee DNA that this is 100% Homali. So it's difficult for an exporter to buy rice from the government because sometimes they don't guarantee the DNA of the Homali rice. Okay, and the lastly that happened is the corruption through rice sale. Sometimes they release the rice to very well connected firms very well connected firms. So conclusions of this scheme: the pro is they successfully maintains farm income at a high level, successfully stimulates economy in the rural area, and successfully increased high rice price that they aim for. But the export volume and value declined significantly because they didn't stress in their objective at all. They're not really concerned about it. So the consequence result shows that the export volume and value declined significantly. Quality of rice also declined. Once you store the rice for a long time, the quality declined. It's very expensive budget and the level of corruption has increased. These are the outcome of the rice mortgage scheme based on the facts, based on information that we gathered from the private sector. Now, and this is I try to find positive quotes about this program, but I only find these two quotes. Yeah, I try to find quotes about how good is the rice mortgage scheme, but I only found these two quotes. It's if any government thinks they are living above the market, they are living in a fool's paradise. So if any government try to control the market, so I think it's a bad idea. And another one is, I do not know a single independent economist who thought Thailand's rice plan would work. This is from the FAO. And so basically I try to find a positive quotes about the mortgage scheme, but I cannot find anything. This is what I found. Okay, let's see the corruption evidence. These are on the news, so I able to disclose all this information. What I found, there's many other corruption cases, but it's based on blaming. They based on talks, so there's no evidence, solid evidence. I put this on based on solid evidence that I found in the market. Yeah. The smuggled rice, people smuggle rice into the government warehouse. Yeah, they use neighboring rice and put it into government warehouse to mortgage the rice. As you can see, Thailand has become the fourth largest importer of Cambodian rice for the first 4 months of this year. It must be smuggling. It cannot happen to legal channel, because if it comes to legal channel, the import tax will be so high that it does not make sense. But what makes Thai become a top importer? It must be a smuggling. And a report from Reuters that over 750,000 tons of new rice come across border last year. So it is through smuggling. As you can see, this is from the quote from Darren Cooper, senior economist at the International Grain Council in London. Basically what he said is this scheme encouraged people to smuggle rice from neighbor into the rice mortgage scheme. And this is from Khun Vuttiphol, director of Cambodia State-owned rice exporter Green Trade. He said that over 300,000 tons of Cambodian rice was smuggled to Thailand last year in 2012. I also have another quote from the Burmese trader. Another 150,000 tons was smuggled as well into Thailand last year. So it happened, the smuggling has happened into the government warehouse. Another thing is when they release the rice, they favor well-connected firm. This is the green line, is Thai export figures in the right here. This is one firm I call Company S. Yeah, Company S. The figure of the export rice from 2009 to 2011. You see that the amount of rice that you export is declining, not so well. But once they changed the party to Pheu Thai in 2012, the sales jumped 125%. So that's very strange figures. And while the Thailand rice export volume down 35%. I received this email from a company called Buller. They the machine producer and machine seller in Thailand. Basically, they said that Buller expands Thai rice presence with Company S, with a S contract. Okay, they have a major agreement with S Company Limited, which will buy 100 units of Buller rice processing equipment, including 22 optical sorters. This happened in month of June this year. Why Thailand export reducing? This company expanding very fast, expanding very aggressively. I calculate if 22 optical sorters, how much capacity that they increase. It's about 1.3 billion tons that they the capacity increase per year. That's equal to about 20% of Thailand export total. How can company command so much increase within a year? I think it's questionable. So I think this figure is very strange. That why other people downsizing the company, this company is increasing their volume aggressively. This 1.3 million tons is only for these 22 optical sorters, not including what they already have. Now they export about 700,000 tons per year. So if you include with the capacity that increased, that's equal to about 2 million tons, 2 million tons per year. So about 30% of Thai export volume, which is a very strange figure and very scary to see. We talk about this figure in the Rice Exporter Association, and we find it strange how they increase so much. And this is the evidence showing that some people in the commerce ministry owns a car of this company. This basically said that this car, this license plate belongs to that company S. And this car is in the Ministry of Commerce. Yeah, and the one who have the right to drive is some person very influential in the Ministry of Commerce. So you can see there's some linkage to this company S. So in conclusion, I think the scheme has its merits in helping farmers to increase their income and stimulate rural economy, but it needs to address the following issues. One is how to encourage rice export. They only talk about farmers, not talking about the export at all. So as a consequence, you can see that the export value and volume decline, and also the quality also decline. How to maintain good quality rice in storage, how to reduce corruption from top down. Now they talk about down to top. They go to catch all the small mills, small farmers who cheat the program. But the top one, as you can see, is from here. They should catch this person. So that will help everything. Okay, and then how to solve long-term problem of expensive production costs. Most parties that come into power not addressing this long-term issue at all. Thailand average yield per rice is number 8 in the world, while Vietnam we produce about 400 kilogram per rice, while Vietnam is about 850 kilogram per rice. Japan is 1.5 tons per rice. So our cost is so high. If you're not addressing this problem, the government have to pay the subsidy forever. But my personal view is this scheme of work cannot. I think it cannot work. My personal view. If it can work, we have to limit the production and export volume among major rice producing nations. If we cannot limit each nation, okay, you produce this amount, you export this amount. If we cannot limit that, it's not going to happen. This scheme cannot work. And because rice cannot be stored like oil, they cannot store forever. If it can be stored like oil, then we can make this policy work. But it cannot be stored like oil. So there's no way that other nations willing to store rice for a long time. So we cannot work. Everybody will compete to sell the rice because the rice quality will deteriorate. So that's basically it. And if you have any questions, please ask.
I ask if the subsidy students have questions because we have to go to class or anything.
We don't have classes.
No class. Okay. Go ahead. Microphone. Behind you. Behind you.
Hi. I've been in the rice export business in Thailand for 31 years, so I have a lot of questions. My own personal view, the scheme cannot work. I agree with you 100%. You cannot limit production export volume amongst various nations. Number two, you cannot store rice, except what is being done now. First question, what is the cost to the farmer today per ton of paddy?
Cost per ton is coming at various figures. Now the farmer says it's about 9,000 baht. But it's various. We don't know the real figure now. That they need to update the figure. It used to be 8,000, about 6,000 to 7,000 baht per ton.
Right. So the increase is primarily because of the cost of fertilizer and rental, etc., etc.
Yes.
The insurance scheme is obviously a far better scheme.
Yes.
The government is not involved down the line. It has no business to be in the rice business, first of all, the government.
Yes.
And as you rightly have pointed out, it's the market dictates the value there.
Yes.
Now, as a Democrat, if I want to announce tomorrow that I will increase the paddy price to 20,000 baht to the farmer, do you think I can win the election?
I cannot tell you that. I think
Wasn't that the sole reason for bringing in this 15,000 baht paddy price? Isn't that a pure political decision?
It's political decision, yes. But I'm not sure there's other things that involve. Maybe I think you have to ask the politicians what they think. I have no information on that.
Number two, the loss declared as of now 136 billion baht is not factual. The loss is far greater than this.
I think so too.
It does not take into account the deterioration in quality, the cost of carrying the rice, the inspection, the fumigation, the storage, etc., etc. Plus, it doesn't take into account the amount that the exporter will have to pay to the government to take delivery of the rice.
Yes.
Under the table.
Right. That's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think it's more, but this is official.
You have any idea what is the under the table amount per ton?
under the table.
Yeah, what the exporter has to pay to the government?
I have no idea.
It's $30 to $50 a ton.
30 to 50.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
In the current scheme of things, is it better to be, then I would rather be a farmer or a miller?
I would be a miller.
You'd be a miller, right?
Yeah.
Certainly not an exporter.
No, not an exporter. We're in a difficult situation.
Okay, I think that's.
You want to work for the Ministry of Commerce?
Huh?
You want to work for the Ministry of Commerce?
Yeah, actually.
I must admit I know nothing about rice apart from when I get my plates. And when I do, I can't tell whether it's from Thailand or China. So my question is, what are the barriers which actually prevent nations from actually just switching completely, switching everything just to get from Vietnam?
Okay.
And why did the government think it would be otherwise?
Okay, let me clarify this about the quality first. Government always say that Thai rice has much superior quality than the neighboring country. But we are the trader, we know the quality is not much different anymore, especially the white rice. It's almost the same in Vietnam. And for the fragrant rice, the Vietnamese fragrant rice tastes actually better than Wanglee because I started importing Vietnamese rice this year, legally with the import tax. Actually, the taste is quite good with the new crop. So the quality is not much different. So what preventing people from switching? I think that they slowly switching. They used to the normal trade. They used to the market because most international importer built Thai brand for a long time. Let's say from the rice and also the parboiled rice, they have their own brand. So I think with the brand, they still stick with the local consumer. But they slowly switching. I give you an example of Hong Kong. We export mainly to Hong Kong. 4 years ago, Thai rice market share in Hong Kong was 90%. Now it's about 49%. So you can see that they slowly switching. And it's quite scary number that maybe in the future maybe disappear from the market and disappear forever. Because why bother paying 136% more expensive while the taste is almost the same? Even I'm the consumer, I wouldn't pay 136% more expensive. Yeah, tastes almost the same, and the consumer won't even notice at all. So that's basically it. I think it's slowly switching.
Hello, I just have a question about your opinion on the current program from the government to look after the quality of the rice with, let's say, independent inspectors. Do you think this can help in enhancing the quality, or what is your expectation of that program?
I think it might help a little bit. It depends on if independent inspector. They actually hire independent inspector anyways, right? But it's always under the table. This independent inspector get money under the table as well. So they actually use independent inspector since the beginning. So I don't think it much help at all.
And just another question linked to that one. Do you think the AEC opening will help the trade within the ASEAN countries on rice, or there will be other barriers?
Sorry,
AEC.
Or AEC. I'm not sure this rice they prevent. I think they will prevent from importing rice from international markets. I think there will be some barrier. There's still some barrier because I think it's very political product. But now I go to the rice mill cross country. They say that the rice in the warehouse is AEC rice already. So we really gone AEC since this last year.
Speaking as a retired bureaucrat, two questions. One, can you categorize the different group of farmers? Because what you said that the farmers do benefit, it's only a percentage of farmers. So it's better that you highly clarify the various categories of Thai farmers. That's the first question. Second is that I'm deeply confused. Who is actually selling the G2G. Is that a G2G? Any agreement at all? Thank you.
Regarding the rice farmer, I think basically what you mean is they categorize the rich farmer and the poor farmers. I think poor farmer is about 70 to 80% of the Thai farmers who have about 35 pride land plots, and so mostly these poor farmers need help, not the another 20% of the farmers who rich who have more rice than that. So I think that's what you mean in terms of categorizing the income, the land plots that they have, and the government should limit the amount of money that help to the farmers and targeting to these poor farmers only, not the rich farmers. So they should impose a limit of rice buying from each farmer families. And your second question is about G2G. I think there's a video link. I think from you can see from Facebook, and based on that information, I don't know personally that it happened, but based on that information, it's supposed to be company S involved as well. Person who relates to that company S involved in buying the rice. So they register a company in China, but actually a person who buying actually the local person who linked to company S, and they buy from the government and then release locally to the rice mill. So this person get the money. Actually, rice didn't go anywhere. It's circulating in Thailand, and some of them back to the government warehouse. So that's what information that I got.
Anyway, it's a state secret.
Thank you. I guess then the $1 million question is, how do we get out of this mess that we've backed ourselves into?
How to get out of this mess? I think it's very difficult. Maybe a re-election and a marketing campaign on switching the policy. But I think if there is this 4 years term, I think they have to stick with this policy and with the same amount of money that they pay to the farmers. But the new re-election, they might think of something else. I think that can be.
Is there a way that we can benchmark the prices that we pay to the farmers based on the market prices, in the sense, the premium is preset, but it changes according to different years?
Yeah, that's what I think the government trying to do. The 12,000 baht, they claim that the 12,000 baht, I'm not sure you read the news, but the government tried to reduce the market price to 12,000 baht per ton from 15,000 baht, based on the market price that they claim. Is there a way? I think they try, but I think they cannot do it. They will have to remain at 15,000 baht. I talked to people inside the party, of the Thai party, that end of this year would they reduce the price from 15,000 baht to 12,000 baht? They say no. So likely they cannot using any benchmark based on market price. I think they will still keep at 15,000 baht.
And the second question would be, in your opinion, what is the premium which you think international buyers are willing to pay for the high quality? I mean, I would say that Thai rice is definitely high quality, and at certain premium, it would still give the Thai suppliers the chance to fight in the international market. So what is the optimal percentage premium you think is competitive?
Okay, I think for the white rice, it's about $50 to $75 per ton. I think based on historical, I think 2 years ago, our price was different, about $50 to $75 per ton from Vietnam, and we could sell very well. You have some other...
Yes, I do have an opinion on that. The paddy price of 15,000 baht to the government equates to $750 per ton for milled rice. Would that be a rough figure? 50%?
Yeah, about that.
$750 a ton. I'm not talking about all the other additional costs over the period, 1 year period and all that, which could add another $50, $60. Okay, so let's say the cost of the government is $750 a ton. Vietnamese 5% today is at $400 a ton. You can buy good quality Vietnamese. And if we take Pradeep's or your premium to Thai rice, to Vietnamese rice, let's say Thai would find a market at $450. Now for an exporter like you or me, to sell at $450, I need to buy it for $20, for $30, whatever. There are many costs involved. If the government sells their rice to the exporter at $420 a ton, you're looking at a loss of $330 a ton straight as of now. Now you do the maths for the amount of rice the government has. And the loss.
Can I add? But we are talking about the paddy and the meal rice.
No, I equated the paddy to the milled rice price.
Ah, okay.
750 is the milled rice.
Right.
A lot of loss.
So you obviously have a personal interest in this. How much have your revenues decreased because of the policy, your company's revenue? Or have they decreased? Or
Have decreased because we have been stressing on the domestic market for the past 2 or 3 years. So we willing to be able to diversify our risk. So our volume is declined only about 6%.
Then you made the point that it's crazy for the government to take over. You said, agree that government shouldn't be in the rice business, which I fully agree with. But have they set up their own warehouses, or are they using existing warehouses? And what is the cost if you add all of the infrastructure and the people? How many government people are being paid to work on this compared to the Democrat scheme, where basically it's being done by the market?
For the people who manage and all the
Like what's the total overhead cost out of this 330?
I think it's about 30,000 to 30 billion to 40 billion baht per year, just to manage and interest rate and everything.
So about 10% of the 2,000.
It's quite a lot, and the money that's spent to build the warehouse is not necessary. It's not this money that's spent is not creating a long-term benefit to the country. It's only to build a warehouse, and I think it's a lot of waste for this aspect.
So that was a very lively discussion, and perhaps Khun Vuttiphol can stay behind for a little bit if you want to ask any more questions, especially in private. So, Vuttiphol, thank you very much for enlightening us with this talk and sharing your experiences and a small token of our appreciation. I have one last announcement about the Net Impact Bangkok Professional Chapter. We were founded in 2006, actually, by my co-chair, Alex Mavro, who can't be here today. And I joined him and brought the chapter to Satsin in early 2007. So it's been way too long that the both of us have been managing this, and for the last year, Khun Prayer has joined us, and both of us have kindly requested that she take over the helm of this chapter. So with immediate effect, she is now running the show in an official capacity. So.
Thank you very much, Khun. Just one last announcement. We are organizing a Net Impact field trip that we always have every month to DTAC's headquarters over at Jamturi building. We've been there many times and we love it, so we think you should see it too. It's a really interesting corporate culture, very innovative design, interiors, and we've asked them to give us a short presentation on their internal corporate culture. and that will be either on the 26th or the 31st of July. We'll let you know by email. And also, our speaker for next month has yet to be confirmed, but we'll also let you know. So I thank you all very much again for attending this wonderful talk by Khun Vuttiphol Wanglee, and many thanks to him again. Pat, Pat.